Here's more of our talk with Governor Mitt Romney and his wife, Ann Romney. Remember the first time you saw the governor?
I do.
How old were you?
Probably about 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Where was this?
I was on a horse and in the country, and he was a Boy Scout, a Cub Scout, and there were a group of very naughty, like, Cub Scouts that were taunting me. And
was he one of them?
Yes.
No. I was saying, don't do that. That's a nice young lady on that white horse.
That's not the story she was just telling. They were taunting you?
They were taunting me and started.
This is getting better with time.
But I got to tell you, I was on a horse and I could go fast, and I just galloped off. But that is the first time I remember him.
Where was this?
This was in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan.
And then after that experience, when was the next time you saw him?
In high school, we were at a party. I was then just about a month before I turned 16. And I was at Cindy White's house, and it was one of these high school parties, and he happened to be there. We saw each other again, and I think there was sort of a mutual attraction right away.
You liked him right away? Except for at that age when you were 10? You liked him?
I'd forgiven him.
You'd forgiven him? Did you tell him about it?
Not for a long time. And I think it was in recreating. I don't think either one of us realized. We didn't know really who each other was. But it was after we'd been dating for a while that, he knew I rode horses, and I still had horses when he was dating me. And it's like, that horse looks familiar. Oh, was that you?
Governor, you've been married an awful long time. What was it about your wife? Why did you marry her?
She was gorgeous. That's the reason I took her home. She came with somebody else, and I said,
at this party?
At this party, and I said,
Oh, you didn't tell me that. You left that part out.
I live closer to her than you do, so why don't I give her a ride home? And I gave her a ride home, and I was smitten, and we started dating, and instead of just moving on, I really enjoyed spending time with her. And the truth of the matter is, I don't know how you define love, but I would have rather been with her than anywhere else. I didn't want to be away. And we were with each other constantly that last year in high school that I was there. I was a senior.
He went to Stanford. I mean, that was like March, April of his senior year, and then we were together that summer, and then he was at Stanford that fall.
But I got a job and saved some money and would fly home and see her. Her parents knew about that. Mine didn't.
Yeah, that's right.
And
your parents even know you're flying home?
No.
No, I don't think my parents have been happy. So
he got a job because his parents didn't want him to have a job because they wanted him to take his studies very seriously and just study. Well, he wanted to fly home, and
there are priorities in life, and Ann was my biggest priority.
And you never look back, apparently.
We're still going steady. It's working.
How many children do you have?
We have 5 boys.
No girls at all.
I was, every child. I mean, those were the days you never knew what you were having until, they were born. And when that 5th one came out, I'm like, sweetie, that's it. I tried. That's it. No more. And but what a fun household it was with 5 boys. They were very raucous and rambunctious, and at times very naughty. It was not easy.
Who's the naughtiest one of the 5?
I couldn't say you could actually categorize which one was the naughtiest because they all were equally as naughty at times. There were some that were more easygoing and didn't get in as many arguments with each other, but boy, they were a pretty rowdy crowd.
Nothing serious.
No, I know.
But boys, I mean, the humor, the bathroom humor, it just wouldn't stop.
I hope they watch this. Governor, how are you different from your father as governor?
Well, I respect him in almost every single dimension. I can't imagine trying to be different than him in terms of his character. He was the real deal. And, I consider him my role model in virtually every aspect of public life. I'm sure we see some issues differently.
I knew Mitt's father, too, when he was governor. It was like we were dating when Mitt's father was governor. And I am convinced there is no way Mitt would ever become involved in politics if it hadn't been for the example of his father.
Sure. But you came to it late. I mean, you grew up with it.
Just like him.
He did it the same way his father did.
Literally, my dad, I think, ran for governor at age 56, and so did I. And so it's kind of late in life after we'd had our career. My dad always felt that you got involved in public service after you've had a career, raised your family, when your finances are solid. You didn't think you want to get involved in politics to make it your career. It was instead a duty or a sense of obligation that would bring you into public service, and that's what I'm here for. And so far, so good. We're off to a great start.
That's not all of our talk with the Romneys. Governor Romney, not one to be outdone by the media, turned the cameras on us. What happened? Tune in tomorrow night and you're going to see. We assure you this is a first. You can decide if the governor should keep his, quote, day job. And coming up, a big development tonight in the gruesome mystery of an innocent American murdered abroad. Julia Campbell went to the Philippines to teach English. Why was she beaten and left in a shallow grave?